Hi, Dove here, and today we have a new episode in the art process. I am thinking of restarting a playlist called the art sessions. I have so many ideas for playlists on my channel because sometimes I do get bored with one playlist, and I just think it's nice to diversify the kinds of content I make, and it's also great for views because it does get boring sometimes. Even though it may not be boring for me, but sometimes people just kind of want a little bit of difference. But at the same time, I also know people want a bit of certainty, right? But anyway, the point is, I'm not sure where to put this video, but I'll make this a sketch with me kind of video where it's a bit ASMR-ish. Hopefully, you can hear. Can you hear that? Hopefully, you can hear that. If not, I'm actually drawing something in my pen tablet. So if you can't hear the strokes I just made, I'm gonna have to change the audio settings in the next video or in the next recording. So just a quick update. Let me just pick a nice sort of. I want to be more. Should I pick this? How about this? Anyway, so yeah, I did order a new pen tablet, or sorry, a pen display, right? And I realized that I could have waited for the newer model, because the price isn't even that like crazy. The difference in price. Essentially, I ordered a. I'm not sure if I already mentioned this, but an XPPen 22, the second generation. It's supposed to be a model right after the 22E Pro. What I have now as a pen display, even though I'm not using it, I'm using it as a main monitor. Yeah, the XPPen 20 Artist 22 second gen is supposed to be the tablet that comes after the 22E Pro. And apparently there is a new tablet, by the way, the Artist 22 Plus, which actually goes along with, like, it's part of the new tablets that's associated with the one XPPen sent me recently, the XPPen Deco Pro Gen 2. So it's a bit the one I ordered is a bit old, kind of old, but yeah. But I guess it's still like legit in a way because it's second generation, and I can tell because even though the logo is still like the classic one by XPPen, it's not part of the new sort of series of tablets that's out now. That's recent. But based on the reviews I've seen online, people do like it, so I don't mind. I've noticed something. It is my Clip Studio Paint is lagging, so I may have to close a few tabs. If your program is slowing down, chances are there's something in the background that's not beneficial. So check out your task manager and just turn something off. For me, it's usually my browser, and I think YouTube is the worst one because it just takes like hogs so much memory. So let me just turn it off. Does it change anything? A little bit. Oh my god. So anyway, yeah. So the new pen display is coming on Monday, or that's the estimated time of arrival. I did order it from the site, the XPPen site, and I can't wait. Although I feel kind of, I'm trying to find the right word for it. Like I feel like I should have waited a bit more because the Artist 22 Plus is actually like 50 or 100 plus more, so it's not that far away, and maybe I could have just waited Like a part of me thinks that, but at the same time, like, like I don't mind. Oh, and I also figured out something. I had no idea that my laptop has a USB-C port. Because I remember when XPPen contacted me to do their like to review one of their products, right? And they were supposed to send me an Artist 16. It's a pen display, the size 16. They were supposed to send me that one, but I did ask if like I was just concerned about like the ports, because I assumed that I did not have a USB-C port. And I guess because of my concerns, they were like, oh, let's just send this guy the pen tablet instead of the pen display. And that's the reason why I got the pen display as the review product instead of I got the pen tablet instead of the pen display. So just realizing that now, I'm like, oh my god, it's so dumb. I literally had no idea. Even I think when I bought it, did I know? Because I have a ThinkPad i7 something. I forgot the actual specifications. I usually write it down, or it's kind of in the description below somewhere. But I was watching this review video of the XPPen 22 second gen, right, from this artist, and I was just hearing it. I heard him say kind of in the background that, oh, I'm so glad that that tablet has a, like he was saying, like he was so glad that that tablet or this tablet has a USB-C port. And I assumed like, well, yeah, of course he's glad because he has a Mac. Like I just assumed this guy has a Mac. But just zooming in on the video, I was like, oh shit, like he has the same exact laptop that I do. and I was like, where is the, because looking at the video, I think it was inserted somewhere in the right hand side, right? So I checked over to my laptop and I was like, oh shit, I have a USB-C port. Anyway, that was just one of like it's so dumb. Like you can tell I'm not a very techie person. But it's still sad, like how dumb am I to not know what the specs of my like thing is, you know what I mean? Like, oh my god, so embarrassing. But now I know. Oh, I did try the USB-C port because for the Deco Pro Gen 2, they have two cables, a USB-C to USB-C and a USB-C to a USB-A, the standard one. So I did try the USB-C to USB-C once I found out that I did have a USB-C port in my laptop. It works like a charm. So once I get this new pen display, the second gen Artist 22, I'm gonna use that specific port. If you can't tell what I'm doing, I'm actually trying to paint one of the monsters or the creatures from the Wukong game, Black Myth Wukong. And I feel so jealous, by the way, to be honest, because I don't have a PC, you know, like one of those setups where you have, I have a laptop, that's it. I don't have a PS5. I just checked the price, it's like a 500 US dollars. So it costs just as much as a like a large pen display. So obviously I have to decide where the money goes, and to me it's gonna be the pen display. I can always save up for it in the future, but obviously some things need to be more prioritized, and that's gonna have to be my work. But one day I really want to have my own gaming station, because the only thing I do for fun, really, like by me I mean like myself, is, I don't know, I mean art is fun, but aside from art, I mean I watch movies, anime, you know. I'm kind of a boring person. That's why I feel sort of You know, I shouldn't say that, or I shouldn't feel so bad, because if that makes me happy and if that's who I am, then that's who I am, you know. But to be fair, you know, obviously seeing stuff online, like people are traveling and people are kind of out partying and stuff like that. Obviously, I can't relate. I'm kind of an antisocial person, first of all. But also, you know, I just like, to me, my biggest priority here is trying to make it. I know that's sort of a trying to make it an art. I know that's kind of a big thing. And I think it's a lot of us want to kind of make it, right, in art. In one way or another, but by the way, I do have reference in the background. And I'm not color picking from the photo. I'm trying to just guess the colors, because I think it's more fun that way. And also it's harder to color pick because I have a file here. I mean, you can if I hit X for me, hopefully you can see the cursor. I'm not sure if you can see the cursor, and it says pick screen color. Clip Studio Paint has a feature where you can color pick from the screen or outside of Clip Studio Paint. I could do that, but I'm trying to challenge myself here a little bit. And I'm also painting on one layer, right? Because it's just more direct. Because if I've seen people like go back and forth between their really organized layer system, whether in Photoshop, Clip Studio Paint, Procreate, and it's just too much for me. Maybe it's because I'm kind of lazy, who knows, but it's definitely not for me. It's just too much work. I actually can't see the but yeah, just looking at the gameplay of Black Myth Wukong, it looks so fun. And I feel like I'm more of a, like, I identify somewhat as a gamer. Even if I don't game. One day, boys, I'll be a gamer. And I think there is a crossover, right, between gaming and art, because, you know, gaming has a lot of concept art involved, obviously, in the making of the game. So there's that, right? You know, this one's a bit too. In the original photo, it is a bit desaturated because the guy is also like in shadow and everything. Let me just lower the volume. You can't hear it. It's my own like music in the background. Anyway, so this is the big baby kind of a character, or the big boss baby. People call it the boss baby or something because it looks like a baby. Because obviously the head, the size of the head is like enormous, almost like a baby. Like in proportion to the body, it's rather large, right? Right, there you go. Show. When I'm not recording, my brush or my painting experience is way faster. So I think it's me when I do record something, and when you see lag, it's not always like that for the most part when I'm not recording. So don't think it's because like, don't think that's how I normally paint, because it's not. It's just when I'm recording it, I guess the software, the recording software, just takes a little more energy or memory, whatever. By the way, this guy's eyes is like closed. It almost looks like he's sleeping. Let me just change the brush to like something that's more small. And if you'll notice, I'm a bit zoomed out. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Just a little bit. Right, we'll try to draw this baby. So it's basically a screenshot some guy took of this game, and looks legit enough for me to paint. I really can't wait for the pen display because I feel like I can do more with it. It's nice to have a pen tablet when you're like tired or when you're rendering something, but sometimes when you're drawing, say, faces or figures, or maybe when you're doing line work, I think it's just much better to have a pen display. So I actually took away my pen, my 22E Pro pen. So I'm just, because I don't want to use it anymore. I just want to switch to using the pen tablet for now. And what it's a way to force myself to just get used to using the pen tablet again. If I'm gonna use the pen display sort of pen, I'm gonna wait for the new tablet that's coming in this Monday, I think. Oh, I think I'm too zoomed in. Oh, in the art, by the way, like the world building in this game, Black Myth Wukong, it looks so nice. And it looks so diverse and it feels more alive. Because I've seen other like games, again, speaking as a non-gamer of sorts. For example, the popular one is like Elden Ring, right? It just seems a bit too dark sometimes. Obviously, that's kind of the theme of the actual game, but it's just nice seeing some really diverse environments. Like, just watch a couple of gameplays from that game, Elden Ring, and compare it to like Black Myth Wukong. Or hopefully, if you are a gamer yourself and you have the game with you, hopefully you can see what I mean. It's just more like I see more natural nature stuff, right? So to me, that's somewhat enticing. You know, yes, I do have reference, but the reason why I'm doing it is because my construction skills is not good. Like, I don't really know where to put the planes of the face, right? It's just like I need reference. And I think that's kind of the level up, or the thing you want to be able to do eventually, is to be able to make things from imagination. I'm not saying it's bad to ever use reference. Obviously, it's good. But obviously, it's sort of it's just faster to be able to make stuff. And I feel like there's way more creativity when you do that, because... And it just looks cool being able to come up with shit on the fly, or come up with concepts on the fly. It's just... It's so badass. Now you can see me, instead of using the eraser, I just paint over it with... via selecting the white color in the background. This one kind of looks like a bit like Trump. Like the hair. If you just add like the golden hair here. Right? Yo, easy. Right? Let's add the ear. It's somewhere here. We can even see a little bit of the ear over here. This guy does seem a little fatter than the actual guy in the... And I have noticed in a lot of like realistic stuff, maybe via photographs, there is quite a bit of gray being used. It's not just always color. There's sort of like there are quite a few desaturated parts, and I think that's actually what makes something look a bit more realistic, is if it has like really gray parts in between. It just adds a bit of that natural look to it. It makes it feel more real in a way. Not bad. So we have a baby. Oh, too bad we can't really see the feet as much. Oh, by the way, I'm using the Deco Pro Gen 2, right? And I do use the felt nib. And I'll say this, it does, as someone who likes to paint, if you're the kind of person who paints this way, where you really like you use a lot of strokes, you're not one of these people who like you do like a line like this where you're very minimal with your strokes. If you're like a painter or an avid like a rabid sketcher, you know, basically lots of back and forth strokes, my felt nib is like, I can still use it, but I can definitely see it's no longer like smooth. It's nice because it's felt nib, so it doesn't matter what position, it'll always have that sort of soft feel to it when it touches the pen tablet, but it is chipping away a little bit. And again, I'm using the felt nib, so it's sort of it makes sense that it's gonna turn out that way for something like a felt nib, right? And I think it sounds good too. If you're using the default, I think this happens to like most tablets. When you're using the default nib, it feels like you're scratching the surface, and I don't like that feeling. You know, it just kind of scares me a bit, and I feel like I'm damaging the screen too much. Right. So when I'm doing these kinds of artworks or studies, it's just I don't mind using the pen tablet, but there's sort of I feel like there's something lost. Hopefully you know what I mean. If you've experienced using both, like something does get lost when you're using just a pen tablet. Maybe the accuracy a little bit. Excuse me. And this guy actually has a bit of like gold things coming out of him. Like it's sort of across his head and face. It's kind of like a tattoo. Like a liquid tattoo of sorts. So we'll just roughly sort of indicate them. Now this, it's still rough, but that's okay. So when you're painting like this, notice how I'm kind of blocking things via shape. And they're gonna look a bit more angular in the beginning, but over time, if you repeat this process, eventually those shapes you make in the beginning, they will eventually get smaller and smaller to the point where you can actually see a bit of detail. And so that's what you want eventually. To keep chipping away, start with big shapes and then work your way towards more smaller shapes. I want a bit of like saturation though. This one is actually a bit more straight. By the way, I do recommend you check out the artworks of Yankee, because he's one of the concept artists for this game, one of the leading artists. And I did an art review of his work before. I really like his work, very painterly, very direct, and I think they've been working on this Wukong project for quite a while now. And you know, I've been seeing some like gameplay or trailers of it years ago. And every year they're kind of releasing like new versions of the... Shit, let me just pause the video quickly because I want to refill my cup of coffee. You won't notice it, but anyway. Let me just pause in 3, 2, 1. Hello, I'm back. So I just refilled my coffee and we're good to go. So I think I was talking about Yankee or Kiyang. Yeah, anyway, check out his work. I forgot what I was talking about, but yes. See, I do notice a bit of lag. So my apologies for that. I think it's just the recording, because when I don't record again, it's very smooth. And that's one of the reasons why I like Clip Studio Paint over Photoshop, is because it doesn't lag like almost ever. Maybe obviously right now when I'm recording, but because I think it does take a lot away from the experience of creating art when your laptop is like, or PC or your setup is extremely like slow. It's just it's gonna make you go freaking mad. So let me just add a bit of like blue here, make it a little darker right here, but we'll make this part just as light as this. Now what's cool with this kind of painterly approach is you don't have to be as tight, but you can. If you want to be tight, just keep pushing through the painting, make your brush work smaller and smaller and more tighter, and that's it. But in the big you can always stop before that ever happens, right? Because right now you can see it's a bit loose, right? It's not super tight, and I'm painting it from afar, so there's no like confusion there. You're seeing everything all at once, and I think that's nice. So I'm trying to draw the chest here a little bit. By the way, when I'm doing these recordings, I do try to think about how it's going to look in the actual video, because I know when I do like a time-lapse version, I can zoom the video into like this. But when I'm doing like real-time sort of stuff, or when I'm recording it obviously in real time, I'm not gonna do that because it's obviously not necessary, and I prefer seeing everything all at once in a way. So yeah, very excited for the new pen display. I think it's gonna make a difference. Or maybe that's just me validating my purchase. And again, if you have the extra money, I think just try just go for the Artist 22 Plus. It's the new model that goes along with the Deco Pro Gen 2. Right? So it's the Deco Pro Gen 2 and the Artist 22 Plus. They look the same, they have the same pen. Even if the one I bought, the pen display, even though it's second gen, it's technically not the recent one. And the price difference isn't that big. And I do have a slight bit of regret. I should have just waited for some extra like ad revenue the next month, but you know, things just happens, and besides, I can always get like a cuff. Hopefully, like another review product. Hopefully, like XPPen checks out my videos and they're like, oh shit, like this guy is definitely someone to send an artist 22 plus to. But right now, I just feel like I need to prove myself because if you're from XPPen, I'm really sorry. And if you're the marketing person or agent who's my contact, there's a reason why I haven't responded to you, or there's a reason why I haven't updated you, is because like that video, the product review of the pen tablet, it only gained like 500 plus as of this recording, like views, and it's so like I feel like I've disappointed XPPen. So to me, I do want to make product reviews like not the only thing I make, but it's definitely something I want to be a part of my channel. You know, to diversify the content, and obviously it's just nice to get some nice stuff to try out, especially if you're like really enthusiastic about art. So yeah, so right now my mindset is to make sure I'm good enough until one of these tablets. It doesn't have to be just XPPen, but obviously because I failed them, I'm like I need to fucking show the glory of my skills, right? Not just my skills, but obviously the content, because if my views are kind of low, they're not gonna want to like send me stuff, because obviously like they want, because thinking about it, this is actually expensive. Like the one they sent me, it's like 400 something or 300, the pen tablet, the Deco Pro Gen 2. So in a way, it's kind of an investment, right? Like even if they send this tablet, if it gains just 2 to 3 more sales, then they've made profit. Like it's a good investment, right? Even if it's 2 or 3 sales, right? Hopefully I'm thinking correctly. So yeah, that's also something I'm really working on. Like how do I get more views on my channel? At the same time, I don't want to just do stuff for the views. So it's always about that balance, about the content you actually want to make and enjoy making, but at the same time, it's supposed to gain some views, because I want to make a profit too, you know, ad revenue, stuff like that. And obviously, I'm trying to focus on the eyes here. He does have eye bags. And by the way, if something is off, you can paint over it, or you can try the warp tool in Photoshop, or in this case in Clip Studio Paint, you do have the liquify tools with you. Adding the smaller lines does add more detail, and it just makes it more realistic that way. Let's add in some like blues here. And remove that gray part, because it's make it a little more saturated, just a tad bit, and make it lighter. Right? So he has a really thick neck. Yeah. So what else? What else can I talk about and chat about this art session here? I've decided too that, I think I already mentioned this earlier in the video, but I think I'm going to restart the art session series and make that, basically it's more of like a sketch with me, draw with me, paint with me kind of vibe. Instead of putting it in the art process, I feel like the art process series is more, it's like better for time-lapse videos where I can talk about a specific idea. Right, I can compile like different art sessions and, you know, just talk about like a specific technique, or like how to paint like arms or something. You know, one of those where it's more like a discussion video for art, like theory types of subject, like art theory. Basically a summary of the lessons I've learned from my art sessions. I think that's a good sort of focus for the art process series that I have. Now for the art session, I feel like it's more of like a daily. I want it to be like a daily thing. Number one, it keeps me accountable. Like I have to do it because it looks sucky and weak if I don't post like every day or most days, right? And it's nice seeing it whenever I look at my feed and I see like every day I have a video out. It just makes me feel good. Like I'm really like productive and oh, so it's kind of looking like the baby. I forgot his name. They have a name, but I have no idea. So I think I was able to block out this figure in like within 30 minutes ish. And now I'm kind of just tidying things up, making it like realistic. Not realistic, sorry, but just more refined, defining the edges now. So when you're doing this painterly technique, you just block everything out in the beginning and then you go in and you freaking like go. You do the details and all. So actually the eyes are kind of like here. It's sort of to the side actually. Right, so I could have used the liquify tool to do that, but if you can just pick a technique that's like faster for you in that moment. So if you feel like painting it or just painting over it is the way, or it just feels more intuitive and more faster that way, then just go for that. If you feel like it's gonna be a hassle, then if you feel like painting over it is gonna be a hassle, then just use the liquify tool. Expert. Oh yeah. Damn, not bad. Artist. And I want to learn how to do folds too, because a lot of the characters here have like really loose clothing, and because of that, obviously there's going to be lots of like folds. So it's just great. You have like lots of amazing references here, and it's interesting because the characters themselves are interesting. So you're not going to be bored. Compared to say going to Pinterest and finding like a person wearing like something, right? It's kind of boring that way. But if you have like a creature looking thing wearing some clothes, it's gonna be a bit more enticing to practice stuff that way, right? Am I right? Or am I right? Oh yeah. So there you go. So this will be the first video. I actually have a couple of videos. I also called it the art session playlist, but I think I deleted it or something. I'm not sure. But for this series that I'm restarting ish again, kind of, this will be obviously my first video in this line of work. And I need to set some rules whenever I do this kind of thing. For example, for this series, which I'm aiming to do, who knows if this will last, it's gonna be art sessions, basically real-time videos of me just doing the thing. It's basically like a chat, not chat, I am talking, so there's that, but it's a real-time video of me doing something, and yeah, I want it to be like a sketch with me kind of vibe, where it's a kind of video that you can have in the background while you do your own like sketching or something, or studies, and you can sort of join me in a digital space, so you're not alone when you are doing your art. It's sort of a theme I've been hearing a lot, because I've been watching a couple of creators talk about this issue in one form or another. was watching this artist. Her name is Rainy something, I forgot. But she sort of broke down a little bit in a part of her video. But basically, she sort of came to the realization that a good portion of her like messaging in her own videos is that she did not like, she wanted people to know like the work she makes is sort of a way to let people know that they're not the only ones, or they're not alone. And I get it. And because sometimes when I look at my feed, my notifications feed on YouTube, because you know I like something having I like having something in the background, right? I mean, sometimes I see artists post their work, but sometimes it's too short. It's like a time-lapse video, like a 5-minute time-lapse video. It's great. I still download those and watch those and like those, and I save them to my own playlists. And again, I do download them just to be safe, because sometimes they do delete their videos, right? So yeah, there's that. But you know, sometimes I just feel like I'm the only one doing this. That's the feeling I have. Obviously, I'm not. I know I'm not the only one. But if all you see are people just doing something different, or even when it comes to art, if you're just seeing the finished work, it's like, is no one working? Is everyone just finished? Always? Right? And that sort of environment can leave sort of a certain kind of feeling, like you're alone. And yeah, so hopefully when you're listening to me do this, you don't feel as alone. And hopefully I can add to the space where people can just do art and not feel where you can just do their thing and know that other people are sort of doing something similar. Hopefully that made some kind of sense. My bad. Yeah, when it comes to the folds, I'm just guessing here. Even though I referenced, I still don't really understand like how folds behave. So that's sort of pathetic of me, but coffee time. You know, it's getting kind of hot, so I'm gonna remove my jacket over here, or my hoodie. Jesus, I'm sweating, kind of. Oh my god. I can't wait. Hopefully the pen display doesn't come damaged. Oh, please God. Because I know it's an old model, so who knows what's gonna happen. So it's actually, oh shit, the hand is somewhere here. Let me just make it lighter. But a bit more blue. It's sort of here. Not to saturate it, kind of like this. See? Look at how you can just paint over stuff. This kind of technique is just way more comfortable for me. Obviously, this will differ from person to person, but just being more direct with your painting style, there's just something very, very freeing about all of it, Right. I'm not sure if is that a nipple? I don't think so. Maybe it's kind of like a leaf thing. I'm looking at my reference, so there's like layers of fat, but they're very small though, very small sort of folds in the skin. So let's just do the neck here a little bit. Why not? Let's do this. Add a bit of blue here. It's a bit too gray in the ear, right? Let's make this gray. Oops. Wow, not bad. So for something like this, you could do it in like an hour. Right now, my time is 47 minutes. Why does coffee get so like cold quickly? It's a crime. An absolute crime whenever that happens. So right now I'm gonna work on the eyes a little bit and the face essentially, and work out the details there, because it's the biggest thing obviously, but also it's the face is something we look at first. So if I can get the face right, even though the body's not perfect, I think it's gonna be believable and more convincing that way. Let's add some more blues here. Now I know there's sort of gold elements in the face, right? I'm gonna leave those out and just focus on the So let me just fix the nose because I feel like it's too much. There you go. It looks like his eyes are a bit more closed now. Now in this, he looks a bit old here. He's not that old, or he doesn't look that old in the game. So I need to fix. Oh my god, I was using the eraser there. Yeah, I see he's not that old. So let me just I need to get the mouth right, I think. Like something is not adding up in the mouth area. So in this method or approach, you need to be really good. Well, not really good, but your observational skills have to be on point, essentially. If it's hard for you to see shadows and stuff like that, you're gonna have you're not gonna enjoy this process, because everything is going to be like always wrong, proportionally speaking. I'm tired. Yeah, trying to capture the likeness of the face. I mean, if you zoom out, it looks kind of like the guy if you like flip it too, but obviously, I want to get the proportions of the face right. Have some coffee here. I think I'm gonna try and go for an hour long episodes. Number one, it's very sustainable for me. The upload schedule is gonna be easier too, because if it's always gonna be like 2 or 3 hours long, I don't think it's gonna be sustainable, because I have other shit to do too. That's take away the other stuff that's non-art related. Even when it's concerning art, I have to do other stuff too that's art related. So yeah, you gotta be more smart. And I think it's gonna be fun, having a part 1, part 2, part 3, and it's just more sustainable. And I think that's a good thing. You want to be sustainable. Let me add some like lighter lines here. So he actually has some decent lips. No homo. Easy. Meaning you can actually see some of those details even from this far away. Oh yeah, let me... Yeah, I feel like this is going too far. So I want to bring that edge a little closer. Obviously, the ear is still there. You can still somewhat see it. It's breaking the silhouette of the side of the head just a little bit. Oh, excusez-moi. Perdón. Okay. Okay, 5 more minutes, then I'm done. Yeah, and I think this is gonna be fun. Because sometimes I think as much as I want some views and stuff, it's better than absolutely not posting at all. So, yep. At least I can be more consistent this way. Oh. Right, here we go. Let's make it a little darker here to really show that volume that this guy has a belly. Right, because if it's kind of hard to see the lower torso and the legs, because technically there's a character like over. Let me just show you, like Wukong, or the monkey, not Wukong. The main character is kind of standing in front of him, so you can't really see it. So that sucks, right? By the way, I didn't fart. That's my mouth. But now I'm saying it. It sounds sus, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I feel like making some not safer work hard for this specific guy. I don't know. I just thought of it. Damn, I'm so like gooned up. Oh, it's so over. This is what happens when you're so sort of isolated from society. Like you, or maybe it's not so much you're isolated, but well, yeah, I guess so. If you're really into your own work and you live in your own world in a way, you sort of become crazy. Cause that make me crazy. Cause that made me crazy. I'll try using this. I do have a blending brush. The thing is, you can get carried away with it, so I don't want to be too... So let me just see if I can soften things up here. Is it even necessary? I don't really think so, but... Let me go back. Not really that necessary, so let me just... Oh, the eye here, it looks like the guy has freaking like he's been punched in the face. There you go. Yep, that's it, that's it, that's it. So some wrinkles in the head, right? Not bad at all. Oh shit, it's 1 hour. I'm gonna stop here. Whoa! See, you don't have to finish something, right? If you just put in the work in the time you have, for example, if it's gonna be 1 hour, then do what you can within that time. So I'm gonna stop here, and yeah, we'll continue this in the next session. We're gonna try work on the face a little more in the following session tomorrow, because I really want to get the likeness there. And it's okay if I don't really like work on this part so much. Let me just change the brush here. Like this part, even though it's not as detailed, and maybe a bit of the torso here, even though it's not as detailed, it's okay, because that's the main thing anyway, right? And it's hard to kind of fill in the gaps given the reference I have. So I'm gonna work on this next time, but also try to fix up the chest a little bit, and obviously work on the arm here, or the hands. You know what? Just a final adjustment. Just a final adjustment. Let me just liquefy here. I want to push the chest a little higher. Excuse me. I want to push it a little higher just to be. Right? Yeah, I'll stop here. So that's it for my first art session, or for this first episode for this series. Hopefully I can keep this series going, kind of like the art review. I really want to make this a consistent thing, so it's basically it's kind of like the videos I've already done in the art process series. It's the kind of the sketch with me ASMR real time, where you can watch the video, have it playing in the background, and it's me drawing, painting something while chatting with you at the same time. And hopefully it makes you less alone. Number one, it keeps me accountable, and it forces me to practice my skills and just be more active in my actual drawing, because I don't want to just draw behind the scenes. I want to record stuff as well of me drawing something, painting something. There's that, but also, I want to make sure that you're not as alone. And I think this kind of content is missing. I mean, we have a lot of sketch with me types of channels, but they don't really talk, while the majority anyway don't talk. So hopefully I can show a bit of diversity and add a bit of like oomph, right? So you can have something in the background while you do your stuff. And it's also nice to actually see me talk and do something or draw something at the same time, or paint something, because it feels more like an artist sort of a vibe. But yeah, that's the energy I'm trying to go for. That's the where I'm trying to head with this new thing that I'm doing for the channel on YouTube. So yeah, hopefully this helps in some way. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.